Belief is an amazing thing. It's a powerful thing. It's something we all have, something we all participate in. Belief, believing. What do you believe? There are things that matter and things that don't matter that we believe in. So, for instance, you might believe in the theory of relativity. You might believe in string theory. You might believe in space-time. You might believe in the theory of evolution. Do any of these theories that you believe in, the grand blueprint or scheme of the cosmos, the nature of reality, does any of it help you pay the bills? Does any of it help you love more than you love today? Does any of it bring you joy? Does any of it help inspire healing? Does any of it make you feel more alive? None of these grand theories, none of these ideas that you grapple with, whether you understand them or not, make a lick of difference to the things that matter most in our lives. And I posit that those things are the most important things in your life. Are healing, love, joy, peace, and life. Everlasting life. The life that matters, not wandering around this planet aimlessly, bereft of meaning, without purpose, frustrated, anxious, angry, hateful, searching for cheap thrills, cheap highs, cheap titillation, living in the ways of the flesh. That's not life. That's like The Walking Dead. That's like being a zombie. You're chasing your own tail. You're on the endless hamster wheel. You're in the rat race. You're on the treadmill that never ends, always searching for the same thing, clawing, scratching, cannibalizing for more. It's never enough. That's not life. I'm talking about true life, where you're robust. You feel robust, dynamic. You feel like you're vibrating at a higher frequency, that you're tapped into something greater than yourself. Talking about oscillating at a level where you can feel your molecules absolutely vibrating and bouncing in a beautiful, positive, inspiring manner. These are the things that matter. These are the things that count. Love, healing, joy, peace, life, true life. And so all these things we believe in, all these things you might believe in and that you debate about and that you argue about, the most important being, do you believe in the Supreme Elohim? All of these things that you wrestle with, whatever you land on as your so-called truth is your reality. So if you believe that your life is filled with love and peace and joy and happiness and life, love, peace, joy, healing, and life, then that's what you have. It's real. If you believe in hate, despair, frustration, anxiousness, hopelessness, that's real as well. It's real because you believe it, and you believe it because it's real. Whatever you believe is real. And we're not even talking about this blade of grass. You say, well, I believe in this blade of grass because I can hold it in my hand, I see it, I can see the color, I can smell it, it has properties which I can sense, which makes it real, which makes it solid, which makes it true. And so I believe this blade of grass is here. Okay, again, has it healed you? Has it brought you joy? You might say, yes, this blade of grass brings me joy. Then guess what? It's real. But if the blade of grass means nothing to you, it's not even a question, do I believe in the blade of grass or do I not believe? Then how real is it? Whatever affects your life, whatever holds value for your life, whatever has meaning for your life, is what is real and what counts. And whatever those things are, you believe in it. You believe it. And you believe it because it's real, and it's real because you believe it. If you didn't believe it, it wouldn't be real. If you didn't believe it, it wouldn't be real. If you didn't believe it, it wouldn't be real. And if you do believe it, it is real. But you say, Lawrence, I can't choose in what to believe. It comes naturally. I feel it. I know it. It resonates, and so I believe it. I love something, so I believe in love. I hate something, so I believe in hate. I get joy from something, so I believe in joy. So this brings me sorrow, so I believe in sorrow. I believe it's sorrowful. But what comes first? Does your sorrow come first, or does the belief come first? You'll find they're interchangeable. You'll find everything is a circle. Everything collapses in on itself. Everything is everything else. Everything that begins, ends, and begins. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Like I said, if you believe in sorrow, illness, anxiousness, frustration, and despair, you have it. You have it because you believe it, and you believe it because you have it. If you believe in joy, love, healing, peace, if you believe in everlasting life, you have it because you believe it, and you believe it because you have it. There's no difference between the two. There's a moment where Yahusha, the Son of the Most High, Yahusha, the Most High, Yah, who delivers, Shah, who saves, Shah, who redeems, Shah, Yahuwah, the Most High, who creates, the Most High, the Most High, who breathes life, the Most High, who brings into existence, manifests in the flesh as Yahusha, our Savior, our Deliverer. And there's a moment, you can read this in Matthew, I believe you can read this in Mark as well. There's a moment where, and it's after the Sermon on the Mount, and it's after the scene where he comes to, I forget the town or the city where he casts out the demons into the pigs, and then the pigs drown themselves in the water. It's after that he goes somewhere else, and he's just healing people after healing people after healing. I mean, it's literally, the people are flocking, and he is just performing miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And by the way, he did this all the time. I mean, can you imagine? Can you even fathom? Like, it would go, like he would arrive somewhere, and he would perform a miracle. Or at some point after he'd been doing this for a while, he would enter a town. He would enter a city. The word would get out that he was there, and he was mobbed The people flocked to him. He would walk around. There would be thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people around him, wherever he went, just following him. People bringing their sick to him. People bringing their blind to him. People bringing their deaf to him. People bringing their paralytics to him. People bringing their demon-possessed to them. And he would just heal after heal after heal. So you can imagine. Can you imagine today with social media? I often say this. Can you imagine Hamashiach, the Messiah, Yahusha? Can you imagine he comes to your town, let's say in Indiana, and it gets out on social media? Forget about thousands. Imagine Hamashiach walking with hundreds of thousands following him. It's mind-boggling. But anyway, there's a moment where this ruler of this particular city that he's in comes to him and says that his daughter is dying, and can Yahusha, Son of the Most High, Son of the Supreme Elohim, the Most High who saves and delivers, can he come and heal his daughter? And Yahusha says yes, and he follows the man, and he sees the wailing. He gets to the man's house, and he sees the wailing of the people, the misery, the sadness, the carrying on, the screams of the people all around, because it turns out that by the time they get there, the ruler's daughter, the man's daughter, very prominent man in this city, whether he was a ruler or whatever he was, very prominent, a leader. And they tell him, your daughter's dead, by the time he gets there with Yahusha. And Yahusha says, the girl is not dead, she merely sleeps. And people are astonished by this. Like, what are you talking about? She's passed on. He says, no, the girl sleeps. And he says, show me where she is. Show me where the girl is. And he goes and he raises her. And she's alive once again. And he brings her out to the people. And the people marvel. But the ruler, the leader that came to him, he believed, which is why he went to get Yahusha. But here's an interesting thing, that while he was following the leader to the leader's house to heal the dying girl, a woman who was also wounded, ill, she's following behind Yahusha, because again, wherever Yahusha goes, the people are flocking. And she thinks to herself that if I can just manage to break past the crowds, to get through the mob of people, to somehow get close enough to Yahusha, that I could just simply touch the fringe, the tzitzit of his garment. Imagine this. She believes, she knows, she thinks to herself that if she could just touch the fringe, this, as it's called, the tzitzit of his garment, that she'll be healed. And she manages to touch the fringe of the garment. And immediately, she feels the power come into her and heal her. She knows she's healed. And Yahusha turns around immediately, because he knows, he feels. And he says, I feel the power that just left me. He turns around, he sees and the woman is fearful, because she did so without asking him. And he looks at her and he says, I feel that the power has left me. I felt who was that? What happened? Because he felt. Why? Because someone believed. So someone who believed that they were going to be healed touched him. And of course, the power and the glory went from Yahusha to the girl. He feels it. Turns around, and the girl is so concerned, so worried that he's going to be mad. And he says to her, by your faith, reassuring her not to be scared, not to be concerned. By your belief, you were healed. And then as he's leaving the ruler, so he gets the ruler's house, he heals the girl, raises her from the dead, and then he leaves. And as he's leaving, again, the people are everywhere flocking him. And then he comes upon some blind men. And the blind men are shouting out to Yahusha, saying, heal us, Adonai, heal us. And he goes over to the two blind men, and he says, he pulls them aside, and he says, Do you believe that I could do this? And the blind man says, yes, we believe, Adonai. And Yahusha says to them, as you believe, it is so. I'm paraphrasing here, but as you believe, it is so. And they gain their sight back. And I just read this, by the way, but again, I believe what happens next is he says to them, now, don't make a ruckus about this. Don't go around telling everyone that I healed you. Don't go around but of course they go, and this happens all the time. He's telling them, keep it on the DL. Don't go telling all the Pharisees, all the scribes, all the Sadducees, all the Sanhedrin, all those that worship with their lips and not with their hearts, all the religious authorities, because they're going to get jealous, they're going to get crazy, they're going to hate him even further, they're going to plot more against him. He knows ultimately that his time will come. He knows ultimately his time to make the ultimate sacrifice will come. But he's trying to keep things on the DL so that he can go about and teach the people and heal the people, because you have to understand, he doesn't want to be impeded, neither by the religious authorities, who he's a threat to because he's completely obliterated all their power, nor simply being able to go from house to house or from place to place and teach, because he would be flocked and mobbed by so many people that they would press up against him and he couldn't even teach. Sometimes he would have to teach by a body of water and have a boat right there by the water, so that if the crowds push too hard, he can get in the boat and he can move just a bit away so that he could teach properly. Can you imagine? And as Yahusha himself said, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, a mustard seed knows what it's going to grow into. Its faith is unshakable because it will grow, right, into what it's meant to be. And if you have, Yahusha says, if you have the faith, if you say that this mountain should be cast into the sea, if you believe with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, then that mountain, such that you say that mountain shall be cast into the sea, then the mountain will be cast into the sea. So you can believe in pain and misery and suffering and hate and jealousy and envy and sorrow and anxiousness and frustration. You can believe in these things, and they will permeate your life. Or you can believe in hope, in love, in joy, in beauty, in happiness, in grace, in salvation, in glory, in strength, the strength and glory that comes from Yahuwah, Yahusha. You can believe in forgiveness. You can believe in compassion. And your life will be filled with these things. It's up to you. What would you rather believe in?